What's up guys, Nils here and welcome back to another video. So with update 16 we had two brand new passives added to the game that go by the name Leader and Ace. So in this video we're going to be doing some tests regarding the Leader passive and see how much it affects our team and if it's actually worth running in a team. Now let's start off by actually showing what the Leader passive is. So basically it has 3 tiers and its highest tier is a legendary, it's a mythical, my bad, and it increases the entire team's damage by 5, 10 and 20% on rank 3. So we're gonna be running some tests here to actually see how much of an impact does one make, and we're even gonna try to use 2 of these leader 3s. And let's go ahead and equip our best team right now. So our best team looks kind of like this. Go to Clarent, to Mewtwo, which by the way got nerfed by a lot, and when I say a lot I mean a lot. I think it's nearly a 30% nerf. I'm pretty sure this used to have 2.1 trillion, but yeah, kind of sad, but it is what it is. So we have a 90 Clarent, 187 Bravery, 92 Melio with TAC 3 and an 87 Papa. Now this thing adds up to 1.04 trillion, and let's go ahead and kill this guy and see how long it's actually gonna take us until we kill him. Alright, so it took us roughly 1 minute and 12 seconds to kill the boss. So we're gonna go ahead and unequip our weakest unit right now, which is this Papa right here with 280 billion damage. And we're gonna go ahead and equip this, there we go, this Aru Manfi with Leader 3. And let's check here at the DPC panel. So apparently our DPC went up by 30, if I'm not being mistaken. Yeah, that would be 30 billion DPC. And let's have a look on how it actually reacts. Right, so this time around it took us roughly 1 minute and 7 seconds, so just 5 seconds faster. So I assume that the number difference here on the DPC panel is actually on point with the timer and the literal damage increase that we have. Now another thing to note is that this unit is also very bad as well, right? So I would definitely say that it does seem to be a pretty good passive if you manage to get it on a unit that's not like one of your best units. So by the looks of it, the goal would be to try and get these leader passives on non-OP units, more like on the support units. But I'm curious to see now what happens if we go ahead and remove yet another one of these strong units to just add one leader. But however, I think in this particular scenario our damage would flop a lot, because I don't think the 20% bonus damage from leader that we are going to be getting would be enough to cover this damage loss. So we're going to go ahead and remove this bravery here with 430 billion. So DPC right now is 1.07, and removing this one would bounce us over to 98 billion. Okay, I expected more of a loss, honestly. And we're gonna go ahead and equip a secondary leader, and our DPC looks to be 1.05 trillion. So let's see what happens in reality. So after doing this experiment by running 2 leaders in the team, we saw that the time was pretty much identical with running 1 leader, which pretty much leads me to believe that leader does end up scaling very good, even though if it doesn't translate that good on the paper. And I am very positive that a leader scales better the more your highest units can do. So having like your highest units being extremely strong, leader is gonna scale that much better. And in order to prove this theory, what we're gonna do this time around is we're gonna be excluding these level 202 fighters. Now, unfortunately, I don't have 210 fighters where we could literally see the full value of leader, but we're gonna be going with this team this time around. Go 4, 5, 6. So excluding our 2 best units, and we're just gonna be using this lineup, and we're gonna see now how leader is gonna affect the time. But I think leader would have a bigger impact on the better team. Alright, so this new lineup that we tried took us 3 minutes and 19 seconds to kill the boss, and in terms of damage we had 414 billion DPC. Now, if we were to go ahead and remove this blindfold, which is our weakest unit in this lineup, and replace it with this leader, our DPC is gonna drop to 412 billion, and let's see how that would translate over into actual damage, because on paper the DPC is relatively the same, more or less. So this time around with these units, you can see that our kill timer was basically completely identical, and this just leads me to believe more and more that leader just scales better and better the stronger your units are, and primarily your main units. So I could see a scenario where you can even run 2 to 3 leaders in one group, where you have like 2 or 3 really beefy units. So all in all, just to make the final take, leader is a very good passive, and it scales better with the higher level and stronger units that you currently have. Now, you saw in this particular scenario there was absolutely no difference, and it was the entirely same scenario, but you should keep in mind as well that these units that we're using are completely garbage. Like, look at this. Level 171, 11 billion damage only, right? So it is essentially like running a passive with no other fighter, because it doesn't really add up to your damage like at all. So imagine that you have this on a mythical or even a shiny mythical. That would be actually insane if you manage to get leader 3 on a shiny mythical. And you just do the craft, so your fighter wouldn't be all that bad while still providing to the team. So I think leader is something that you should constantly be checking with your current team, how it interacts. But yeah, to my understanding, as I said 2 times before, it scales better the stronger your units are. So I would highly suggest you to save your leader units if you find some of them, especially on good fighters. Like this legendary, not the best, but also not the worst. So if you find leader 3 on legendaries, just keep it, because eventually you will end up using them and they will end up being better. Now, I'm really looking forward until I find an ace to see how it actually transfers, because every critical hit means 2 times more damage. So in theory, it should pretty much mean tactical 3, but for everything, not just for bosses. And I think that would automatically mean the best passive in the game, so I'm really looking forward to looking at that. But anyway guys, if you enjoyed this short video, as always, make sure to click the like and subscribe button down below. It helps me out a lot. And make sure to click the notification bell as well to not miss any of the future uploads. And until the next one, take care.